Hi, this is Kelsey Cezanne and Michelle Tappert, and this is going to be our critic on The Matrix. Enjoy.
The Matrix is based around a philosophical question posed by the 17th century French philosopher and mathematician René Descartes. One of Descartes' most important and intriguing ideas was intellectual independence, whether or not humans think for themselves. If the answer to this question is yes, then it is possible we have broken through the Matrix. However, if the answer is no, and humans conform and depend on others, then we are in a Matrix. One of the most significant scenes in this movie is when Neo decides to swallow the red pill that as a result releases him from the Matrix. This scene displays a philosophical idea that has been around for a long time. When people are willing to accept things as they appear and do not question their beliefs, they will gain individuality and autonomy. Of course, our belief system can be wrong, and thus reality is not as we think it is. This was Neo's discovered when he ate the red pill.
We all live in the Matrix in the sense that the Matrix is an artificial world that imposes no limits, much like how today's society plugs themselves into a digital world where we could do, see, or say anything we want. The agents in the movie are much like viruses on the internet. They disrupt what we are doing, stop us, and bring us back to reality. In the movie, the few who wanted could connect themselves into this fictional world and leave behind reality to find a better and happier place. This is much like how people join fantasy games on the internet and become part of clubs or chat rooms.
The typical science fiction film will display a topic that is imaginary, fictional, and stretches the limits and boundaries of reality. However, the storyline is more or less plausible. Content such as futuristic science, technology, space travel, aliens, and the paranormal are commonly seen in the typical science fiction movie. In the case of The Matrix, there are alternative possible worlds and futures. The difference between science fiction and fantasy is that in the context of the story, the imaginary elements in science fiction films do not defy science or the laws of nature. The Matrix is considered the greatest science fiction trilogy of all time, mainly because of all the elements of the movie agreed with science while pushing the boundaries of reality.
The special effect that The Matrix is most famous for is bullet time. The Matrix premiered bullet time and now it has been used in countless films. Bullet time is a digital stimulation of variable speed, same as slow motion and fast forward. This effect defies time and gravity by transforming time to fit impossible events. There is no way that people could perceive a bullet at that speed and then proceed to dodge it. Another special effect would be when Trinity was in the air and the camera did a 360 around her. Time stopped and made it seem like she was in the air for a longer period of time than she actually was. Most of the special effects in this movie had to do with time.
Although this movie has an interesting plot and opens a new door of possibilities, we did not think it was realistic enough to be considered a classic. Many of the scenes were extremely predictable and the ending was unexpectedly cliché. The movie had potential but did not live up to its expectations. Everybody raved about this movie and we can't really understand why. To be fair, we began watching the film with a bad taste in our mouths because neither of us enjoy this genre of science fiction. We would give this film a grand total of 1.5 stars.
Thank you for watching!